third World Cup. What does this one mean, and how does it compare to sort of the build to past World Cups you've been involved in?
Third one's pretty cool still to be hanging around and in contention to play. I think this is the most test matches that we've had in a lead up to a World Cup. So definitely a big schedule ahead of us. Heaps of games, heaps of minutes. So it's exciting to see. This is where we've been building to. So it's exciting to finally have round one in front of us this weekend.
Is that the biggest thing you've noticed with the first World Cup? It's just the first World Cup you're involved in. It's just that preparation is 9 days.
100%. I think that's the biggest shift that we've had. Just the professionalism, more game time, more time together as well. In comparison to the first World Cup, we were just kind of thrown together a week before the World Cup, and then we went off to kind of play and compete. So this is where we're at in terms of women's rugby now. It's a more professional outfit. So we need to keep building that to really be competitive here.
It was 3 years ago, that past World Cup, that was in your neck of the woods in New Zealand, I think North Auckland around, that's where your family's from. How is it different this time around, essentially having to adjust to the time zones and adjust to the growing quality that has happened over women's rugby in the past 3 or 4 years?
I think the biggest shift that we're seeing, especially being here in England, Northern Hemisphere, they love their rugby. You're kind of walking around in the streets and they know what rugby is in comparison to, I know New Zealand's a big rugby country, but when we're home, you know, you're competing with so many other sports, AFL, cricket, anything else really, league as well. So I think it's just a big mental shift for us, understanding how big it is here, but not getting lost in the moment. There's still room for us to be ourselves and just kind of, we're halfway across the world and make sure we really enjoy the little moments with each other.
I was going to say, over the past 12 months, it really feels like there is momentum behind the side when you look at WXV2, when you look at sort of the winning streaks that you've come on. What is the biggest area of growth, do you think, in the side that you've sort of seen that really sort of has you on this point of trying to go one better than you did in New Zealand and go past the quarterfinals?
I think it's just the consistency. We've always kind of known we've had it in us, but having that time together, it's allowed us to build a little bit more consistency, more frequent touch points with each other. There's less time between, you know, camps and competition. So we went Super W, rolled straight into international, and we've kind of been connected ever since until now. So that's been a huge shift into us being able to perform at this level consistently. And yeah.
On Samoa, how much do you know about it? How much have you seen? Whether it's their performance in Australia against Australia A, WXVs previously, what do you know about it?
I think they're a prideful nation. They're really physical. I think you can never really, you know, take them lightly because they're a physical side. They have big girls there who will just run at you consistently. Just a prideful country. I think it really means a lot for them to put on their jersey and represent their families and their nation. So we're going to expect a real tough physical battle up front. From 1 to 15, really, they have some threats that we're not really taking lightly. First round as well, I think we're both going to want it. We both want to start off on the front foot to make sure our campaigns on track. But at the same time, we just got to make sure we do our jobs up front.
Just further on that, I think Manu'a is great. It's been a few sort of campaigns since Samoa has actually been involved in the World Cup. With that comes a lot of emotion. Is that something you've spoken about how more dangerous that makes them with this being their first game back in a considerable period at a World Cup stage?
100%. Again, you can't take them lightly. They're a prideful nation. I think it means so much for them to represent their country. So you kind of touched on it. They haven't been involved since 2014. So you can see the growth in their nation for them to be here. It's kind of not under 8s anymore. Anyone gets picked to play. So we're all, you know, bridging that gap between what top tier and second tier is. So all credit to them for doing the work, but at the same time, our back our girls to put on a performance.
Just finally for me, I sort of mentioned the third World Cup. You and Ash Masters sort of sit top, not only that, but in appearances as well. Do you and Ash get a chance to sort of reflect on just how far this group has come since you two came through the system, and have kind of seen all sort of states of what this Warriors program has been in?
I think we reflect quietly, probably in our own spaces, to be honest. I think we're not big out there personalities. She probably is more than me. But I think just being here, not taking anything for granted. You never know when you're going to leave the room. You never know when you're not going to get selected. So as much as it's our third World Cup, we're still competing like it's our first. And I think you always got to have that mentality to be better and to always be competitive. I can't really speak for Ash, but she's our most cap player. She doesn't really talk about it a lot. And I think for her to come from her home nation, so she's born and bred Melbourne girl. She came from the Rebels, and she's our highest cap player. So coming out of a system like that, and I know a lot of those Manusina girls look up to her and have played with her through Rebels. So the amount of impact she probably had in her rugby career, she's probably done all right, I reckon.
Yeah, so obviously as one of the more experienced people in the squad, how are you helping some of the younger players settle into this, obviously, World Cup other side of the world, and at a scale that the women's game's not seen before? How are you looking after them in that sense?
I think I just try to, anything that I know, I'm a pretty open book. I don't try and hold back. Anything I know myself, I try and teach someone, as long as they're willing to listen. So Noah is a prime example, little Moleka. She's played similar positions, same position. So we want to make sure that we're giving her that confidence in whatever experience that we have or think we have. Because if she gets caught up, we want to make sure she's ready to do a job. So it's making sure your teammate next to you, who's also competing with you, is primed and ready for the same challenge. And if they get caught up, they get caught up. So we just try to do our best to share our knowledge around, really. Empty vessel. If you're a full cup, you can't really take anything else in, so it's about pouring it out to the next person.
Yeah, of course, and obviously, you personally, as I said, that this is a different scale to anything that's come before, so the sort of journey that you've been on and how difficult it's been to sort of promote the women's game at various points of that journey, how proud are you to see the tournament at the sort of status where, like you say, you've been sort of down the streets in Manchester and people are talking about rugby. How proud does that make you?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I know Jo, our coach, talked about it a lot. Obviously, she's from here too, so we didn't know how big it was until we got in. We got off the bus and everybody is kind of like, hey, you play for the WALLAROOS. Like, they know who we are. We've come from halfway across the world and they know rugby. It's just a big mental and mindset shift for us. Obviously, World Rugby's done well to really put it on a stage, and for us to get off a bus and have a platform already waiting for us, that we don't have to try and get two little sticks together and try get some sparks happening. But just really grateful to be here and to experience it. The other two weren't probably as big as this, and just the visibility it means for little girls out there, especially in our home states, who have those frequent connections with us, seeing us halfway across the world kind of just playing rugby, gives them the opportunity to think, oh, I can do it too.
Yeah, and how is that support? Have you got many people sort of travelling over, family and stuff who's coming over to watch?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We've got a little family group chat happening. So we've got quite a few of our families coming all the way over to support us. I think that's the coolest thing, is rugby is our vehicle, but also our families get to jump on board and travel and support with us. So as much as we get to travel around the world, so do our families. And they're a big part of why we do what we do. They're a big part of our support system back home. So it's important that we try and share the same experience with them and give them exposure to. They're the ones, when we're down and out and we're coming home after trainings in a good mood, bad mood, and just want dinner and don't want to talk to anyone. They're those people who are there in our corner. So it's cool that they get to experience the highs and the lows with us and get to come over here and support us.
Yeah, and how has the experience in England been so far? What have you been up to?
It's cool. I love it here. The weather's been gone. It's not what we expected, to be honest. We all thought it was going to be cold and rainy, but it's been cool. It's been cool just to chill out in a different part of this, country and walk around, get to see the streets. It's been cool. Awesome experience so far.
Yeah, and how's the welcoming ceremony as well?
Yeah, that was cool, hey. I think welcoming ceremony, I think that kind of kicked off the competitiveness, who could cheer the loudest, who can say the best speech. So I think it's definitely set the tone for the World Cup. Obviously, we're all trying to win everything. So even if we could win the chair at the start of the ceremony, that's what we're going for.
Yeah, just finally for me, obviously, spoke a bit about it. That Joe Yapp's obviously represented England at a few World Cups. I mean, yeah, she's sort of been tour guide. What's her advice been about coming here and playing in England?
Yeah, obviously her resume is pretty good, hey. She played international Red Roses. She's probably well experienced more than any of us in the room, so it's important that we kind of leverage and lean on her and her experience. But I think she goes back to just simple principles about everyone's human, everyone's got two legs. If you chop them at the legs and at the source, they can't run. She's real key on, taking critical moments in the game and making sure we apply pressure, making sure our discipline's right. So it's not anything that we don't already know about footy. You can't run without the ball. Your legs, you chop the ball, hold the ball. It's real simple. So she's real, pretty logical in her thinking, I think. Makes rugby seem simple and easy. And especially in those precious situations, which it will come, making sure we just focus on the little micro things instead of getting lost in the big, we won a World Cup.
Tala, let's start with you. What's this feeling like to sort of be here in a World Cup camp with your sister alongside you?
I think it's still like a shock, as probably you've seen on the media that she was a late added into the team, and so I'm still trying to soak in this experience myself, but to be able to soak it in with someone that I hold close to my heart and someone I consider my best friend, and I'm gassing you up again. I'm gassing you up, but yeah. It's just so cool having someone that, you can really be your true self and your whole self to. And so for this experience, for me to experience this, but to experience it with my sister, I think it's such a surreal and such a grateful moment for me.
Let's go back a couple of weeks when you found out Manu'a was coming along with Manu'a when she got the call. Like, how did you find out that your sister was coming with you?
Well, we were kind of separated. We were going through our own day, and so we kind of split up throughout the day, and I just get a random call, and she's like, "Hey, Tala," and I was like, "Hi, Noah, are you okay?" And she's like, "Guess what?" And I was like, "What?" She's like,
You sound like you hate going on calls with me.
"No, I don't.
Okay.
We just don't go on many calls."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Sorry.
I think it's more like she'll have a better version, because all she did was call me and was like, "I'm going," and I was like, "You're
She
lying."
was lying on the bed and just...
I was lying on the bed. I was like, "Wait a minute. Wait, what?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm going." I was like, "No freaking way. Oh my gosh." But yeah, I think she has a better side because she's the one that actually
No.
Well, yours, Noah. What was that a moment like for you to sort of tell Tala and the rest of your family that you'd be doing this together?
The moment was very happy. It was a very happy moment. I remember getting in the car because I was at my niece's assembly and she got an award. So bless her. But the day was about me. No, I'm joking.
No,
So then as soon as I got the call from Joe, I called Tala straight away. And I just called Tala because I knew she'd be happy, I think.
Yeah, of course. What the hell? What the heck?
But no, because Tala has been with me. I've been with Tala and she's been with me through the whole journey, every single camp. And yeah.
Bit rough sometimes.
Bit rough, a lot of crash outs, but we're here.
We got here. We've been here.
But let's delve into that. I mean, when you, particularly for yourself now, when you're going through these camps and you're not getting the sort of debut that you're looking for, how's it help having Faitala there, just to sort of lean on and just deal with all the emotions that comes with being in your sort of first year of being in a test environment?
I thank the Lord for Faitala, for having my sister, allowing him to pair us together. It's been really good. She allows me to express my emotions to her, allows me to rant, and allows me to go off at her. But she always helps me stay grounded. Yes, it's alright to feel these emotions, but don't dwell on it and push on. There's another day. So it's just a blessing to have her alongside me. Yeah.
Tala, for yourself, I mean, you had a chance to sort of get used to WALLAROOS life last year, but this time having Manu'a with you, how much more special is it this time round to do it with family?
Yeah, so I had 2 years under my belt before Manu'a came along, and to be honest, I'm kind of grateful that I was given those years kind of to myself. It kind of helped mature, like I matured through those years, not only on the field but off the field. I had great role models and support through our players and staff throughout those years. So being able to have Manu'a come in and, just hear those, such nice words from her about, kind of me being her support system. I think I could only be that support system and be mature enough to take on that older sister role in a professional environment with those 2 years under my belt. So yeah, it's so much better, but it's a kind of different kind of responsibility now that I'm here. I am the older one and I do have more experience. So kind of just guiding her to be her own self and not to be my shadow is something that I truly strive to push her to be. And honestly, I think she's kind of taking more of the light now. In training, she's smashing me all day, every day. So just being her, just allowing her to be comfortable in a space where she's new. I think I've done pretty well. Have I?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, thank
But
you.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. And can I just ask, like you're now here at a World Cup together, but it wouldn't have been that long ago that it's you two plus the other siblings that you have running around the park in Penrith or where you guys grew up. Can you take us back to those sort of memories of when you sort of throwing the ball around and what's like is there anybody you were trying to sort of imitate? Like what was those battles like when you two would sort of play against each other? It was like touch, tackle footy, whatever it was.
Oh my gosh. We used to go at it. Like, we used to go... Because we grew up with a house predominantly full of boys. Boys.
Boys,
So, yeah, we kind of had to hold our own on the physical kind of side, so...
Yes. There was a lot of front yard tackling. There was a lot of at night time. Okay, because I'm the youngest, so I was really scared. So at night time we used to bash each other for free. Anyone lights off, go for gold. Yeah, go for gold. Lights off was my time, but like front yard tackling, nah.
I think, so Manu'a's a really physical person right now, like in terms of her tackling, and but you wouldn't have thought that years ago when we were younger in the front yard. That was more me kind of wanting to take on the challenge of tackling people that were double the size of me, like talking about my brothers. But in terms of trying to like copy someone, I think we were both trying to copy our dad. So our dad was probably our first role model in terms of sport and skill. He's probably our first coach and probably will be our last. And so we call him a super coach because when we're on the field, we can still hear him on the stadium packed. You just hear you can just hear his voice go,
and
bah!
Everyone on the field knows it's him.
And
too.
everyone knows on our team that it's my dad over there. But our dad, he kind of set the bar of what rugby is and how to play rugby. And so whenever we'd verse each other, I try to step like my dad. I try to be as fast as my dad. Never worked. He's probably still faster than me. But
He is.
my dad's really fast.
He is.
Yeah. But also you had siblings around you to compete yourself against as well. So, and being a girl, you just want to beat the boys at everything. And so it would get really competitive at times. Sometimes too competitive where someone ends up crying. But
When someone ends up crying, it's home time, and then we all get a hug.
we have to go home. We have to go home when someone cries. So such a competitive household, but I think that that was a great platform for us to build resilience and character and, be able to fit in a team environment because we're basically living in a household of a team.
So yeah, obviously very close off the pitch. What's your relationship like on it? How are you looking to combine with each other if you do get to play with each other?
She still yells at me on the pitch.
Well, she's kind of built some muscle now, so I don't just run over her for free anymore. It's like today we had our contact Tuesday and we were in this carousel where you just run it straight at each other and tackle each other. I don't know how we found ourselves.
It was Laurie. Laurie broke the chain, so it was just us two running at each other, tackling.
Yeah, she looks lanky, but she's got freaking boulders for shoulders, I can tell you that. I'm pretty sure she concussed me one time.
Oh,
We won't talk about that, but yeah, she's, you don't know who the older sister is on the field. You'll probably only find out because I am the game driver, I am the 10. But in terms of physicality and ball running, I think she's got it.
Oh,
Yeah, you won today. I'll vote you next week.
Yeah, that's all.
All right, let's go, Alex. Have you got anything?
I think it was most of what I was going to cover. I guess the only more general question I've got is like, have either of you ever been to England before? What are your plans? Like, maybe after the World Cup, are you going to go have a look around? What you want to see?
I wish my bank
Good
account could tell me
question.
that I could
I
travel.
agree.
Yeah, but my bank account is telling me to take the free trip back home. But first time in England for the both of us.
Yeah.
How are you finding it? She's more of
It's
the
really nice. It's really flash. Like, the buildings are so nice.
The buildings, the architecture is so beautiful, and the history. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, yeah.
The history
That
is
would
so
be
cool
good.
around here. Yeah, my sister's more the exploring type, so she asked me to go for a walk every day. I'm like,
She didn't come with me any of those days.
hey, but you know, but yeah, England is so cool. This is our first time in Manchester, where we had the welcome ceremony. That was amazing.
Yes, that building is pretty.
But yeah, just even the people here, they're so friendly, they're so kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the accent.
The accent, I'm trying to still get used to the lingo. So people come see you, they're like, "You're right," and I'm like, "Yeah, I think, yeah."
They sound like they want to square you up
Yeah,
sometimes.
sometimes they sound like they want to fight me, and like, "Yeah, I'm alright. Are you?" But it's actually just their way of saying,
Yeah.
"Hi, how are you?" I'm still trying to get used to how to answer back though. Getting some tips. Maybe you guys could give us some.
Yeah.
Set you right back.
You're right.
Oh, okay.
You're right.
Nice.
So if they ask you, you're right. You ask, you're
Yeah,
right.
you're right.
Oh,
No.
yeah, you're right.
Okay, let's practice. You're right.
We're going to wrap up with sorry, Alex. They've got to get to lunch. a late
Thanks,
lunch.
Alex.
Just one more from me. You spoke so glowingly about your dad. As family coming over, two-part question. Family coming over, how much are them coming over? And secondly, what does it mean when you were able to tell dad that, hey, both of his daughters were going over and potentially playing together at World Cup?
Yeah. So first question, our parents aren't coming over. It just didn't fit in the schedule with family matters as well. Again, we do come from a big family, so there's a lot of things to take care of back at home. But yeah, you talk about my dad, but I'd also like to put my mum in the picture. They both played such important roles in terms of our journey being here. My mum being more on the sacrificing her time, and you know, sometimes she'd start work at 6, finish at 2, pick us up from school at 2, take us to training, which will finish at 9:30, and you know, we'd come back home and she's still waiting for her husband to finish work. And so just know those little sacrifices, and with our dad just being that person to take time to teach us the fundamentals of rugby. But you got anything to say?
Sorry, I kind of forgot the question.
I was just going to say how special it wasn't to the parents when they found out of your news.
Oh, they were, well, Mum and Dad, they kept saying to me, you're going to the World Cup, you're going to the World Cup. I told them literally, like, I'm not chosen. And they're like, you're going. And I'm like, okay, like,
Yeah.
if you say so. Super coach, you know. But yeah, when I told them that I was going with Tala, they just kept saying like, thank you, Lord, or like, all glory goes to God. And it really does, because he put me through a lot. And if he put me through it, he could pull me out of it. And he definitely did. So yeah.
Amen. I like that.
What a way to finish.
Amen.
Perfect.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.